Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where I'm selling options until $1 million. I guess when I hit $1 million, I guess I just end the series in the channel. No, I'm just kidding. I guess we'll see what happens when I get to that point. But welcome back to another week. This is the week ending December 19th. The portfolio account is sitting at $275,000, 385. As you can see, we had a pretty Green Friday, over 2.3K up. If you've been following the channel, we've been having green weeks, but very red Fridays. So it looks like it switched, or we actually had a red week. But I want to be fully transparent. I'm going to show the ups. I'm going to show the downs in this journey. We did have some good realizations, but again, just going over the stats real quick. In 2025 so far year to date, this is the kind of final stretch here of December, we are up $40,000 or 14.61%. And just this week alone, on the cash flow side, we realized some call options and also received some dividends from the contracts that we had to buy the underlying on. So we realized Root, Waste Management, Sprouts Farmers Market, and got some nice dividends from Waste Management and IWM, which is the Russell 2000. Also realized an Oxy call. So $547 realized. So if I could do that every week or more, I would appreciate it. But again, red week down about $1,800 or 0.65%. So again, what is this channel and what is this kind of strategy going over? It's going over the wheel option strategy, where it starts at the top, where I write contracts or sell puts, and then either keep the premium or the stock falls below the price that I wrote these contracts at, and I have to buy 100 shares of the underlying for every put contract sold. And then I just repeat with selling calls, and then I restart the wheel. And again, this content is not financial advice. Please consult a licensed financial professional before making investment decisions. So going into current activity, we are, as you can see, up about 42% just in a couple days. This is on a stock called BWX Technologies, which this series and this channel has not seen before. And just most of that is from a one-day realized gain on that Friday. Also ignore this one candle here. I'm recording this video a little late. Sorry, guys. So all these charts focus on this candle because that's what I saw when I ended this week on December 19th, the Friday, which is also the first day of the Santa Claus rally, historically. So sold BWXT, $160 put. That is that blue horizontal line right there, expiring January 16th. And yeah, if you been following this challenge, we close at 50% profit if it makes sense. In this case, it does make sense because we have like 3 weeks until January 16th. So if this hits 50% in the next week, I will close it out and start anew, or deploy that capital elsewhere. So $16,000 in collateral, up 42%, or about $150. This stock, I really like. I've been eyeing it for a few weeks now, and saw a good opportunity on these dips. I'm selling a pretty safe put, writing it below at the lower end of this gap here, and at a nice, what I think is a support level. It's the stock has been trading below its 90-day SMA, but above its 200-day SMA. So if it drops below this 160, I'll have to buy 100 shares at $160 each share. So this stock, it has a huge backlog. This stock does nuclear reactors and defense for the US government. So they have about a $7.4 billion current backlog. They can't produce their nuclear reactors fast enough. They do something called SMR, small modular reactors, and as well as larger nuclear components for the US government and also commercial purposes. And if you know anything about the nuclear industry, it takes a long time to build. So that 7.4 is a record backlog, and just shows the power needs that this whole AI revolution will need. So this is one of the solutions here. So I believe in the company long term. Very strong guidance for the next year, very strong EPS growth, and also I think they have a share buyback program, which signals very positive for the stock long term. So excited to be trading this a little more the next year, as long as the fundamentals and technicals stay the same. Celestica. So this one I'm actually down on. Again, ignore that one candle. I ended up on this Friday. It's showing a very strong bounce off the 90. I mean, look, touched it on that Wednesday, bounce, touched it on that Thursday, bounce, and then started it off on that Friday, bounce. So this is good. This is what we want to see right here. I sold a put at 260, expiring January 16th also, and we're currently down about 16% or $122 on the stock. But again, very nice long-term trend up. I believe it's had a nice pullback here. I think we actually got in this position around this first or second red candle on the way down. But again, very positive long term. RSI below 50. This company, Celestica, it makes AI infrastructure for all these data centers. So they make like switches and also a lot of Ethernet. They make a lot of the hardware for all these AI data centers that are going up everywhere. And no matter how you feel about AI, I'm here to make a profit, and I see very strong also guidance and earnings and revenue growth for this company, and as well as on the technical side, I like the chart. So I'm playing it, and I'll keep you guys updated where I am. The premiums are good. So this one we haven't traded in a while. Switching to Robinhood, where we are up 30% or 100, or excuse me, $88. This stock we were trading on the series when it was around $60, way back in May. And it ran up. It ran up way too fast on me. I thought it was overvalued for some time. But then it's kind of been consolidating and been trading sideways, and it still has really good premiums, even with the current VIX is at the volatility index is at I think 13 or 14, which is very low. Premiums are usually not high at all, but Hood, even with a very not very but pretty conservative strike price, I sold at 105, that blue horizontal line right there. Saw a nice bounce right here in at the end of November, or is that early December? And I feel like that's a nice support level. The stock is trading below the 90-day SMA, but again, long-term trend has been up, and they recently rolled or are rolling out announced their what is it called, prediction markets. It's not gambling because then it would be not legal in every state, but it's like prediction markets where you can bet. I want to say gamble, but I guess they don't use that word. You can't do that. But you can bet on anything from sports, or if Jerome Powell says good afternoon, whatever you want, kind of like Polymarket. So that's what they're calling all this new wave. But anyways, it's going to be a huge revenue growth. Am I going to do it personally, or do I trade on Robinhood? No, I don't. But I think this will be a huge revenue source, and I think it's going to bring a lot of untapped market into the Robinhood app for the usual person. I mean, I don't know I'm a guy in my 20s, and most people that I know are like sports betting on their phones, which is like a little sad because I think the statistics behind it are like 95% never even withdraw money. But so don't do it. Don't recommend to do it. But this will help the stock because the regular Joe will do it, and it will contribute to the revenue of this company. So, maybe also look at DKNG, DraftKings. I've traded that stock before in the past too. I mean, it's a very trendy right now, and a high growth market. So going into current portfolio, this is the big dip down here on the AI kind of freak out. The market dipped, and I was buying all throughout the dip, and I got an early assignment at that 243 to buy 200 shares of IWM. So we're about $50,000 in on this trade, and we are up 4.61%. So it's had again, ignore that last candle right there. This Friday is that second green candle. Had a nice 2% drawdown, and so this is kind of an ETF that I benchmark my account to, since a lot of my portfolio is into small caps. With small caps being down 2% in a week on this little dip here, and my account being down 0.65, like that's a pretty good like beta to the market. So I mean, I'm happy with that. This is the power of the wheel strategy. Your drawdowns are lower, but you also cap your gains. You're taking on less little less risk and volatility, in exchange for the upside and downside. So, that's worth it to me. Consistency, less volatility, because one of the goals of this channel is to eventually live off this income. So that's what I like to see right now, is a big testing period for me, which you guys are watching and following the journey along. So I'm about 2.2K on this trade. And so again, January 19th, or excuse me, December 19th is the usual start of the Santa Claus rally historically, where the market rallies about 1% to 2% every single year. So on average, so we'll see how this next week goes, and it usually ends in early January 5th. So we'll see if there's a Santa Claus rally this year, but it's looking like there might be a little one, and volume is actually pretty consistent. I thought it would drop off since a lot of institutions are on break right now and not trading. It's a lot of retail capital, but no, volume has been up on a lot of stocks that I've been trading. SoFi, I actually took a second position. As you can see, we're up 37% and 27% in just a few days. Expiring one contract is at January 9th at that $25 strike price. And then another one at the 23, so a little ladder. Happy to get a sign on both these. This is a company that has huge growth, and I mean, every time I go on Instagram or Reddit, I see their advertisement. They're always, I mean, I just saw their advertisement for car loans, student loans, banking. I mean, SoFi is really expanding their markets, and they're pushing towards that younger demographic of Gen Z and millennials. So, like the company, it's had a really good growth. Again, haven't traded in a while because it just ran up on me so fast that I didn't feel comfortable trading at that valuations. But it's been a nice consolidation. It has been trading sideways, kind of like Robinhood. So yeah, happy to ladder the trade at some support levels that I'll be happy at buying it. I mean, it's trading below its 90-day SMA, that orange line right there. So to me, that signals an undervalued stock from a technical perspective, especially if RSI is below 52, trading in the 40s, bounced off the 40, but still trading off its long 200-day SMA. So. Again, we'll close at 50% profit on both of these. So this is the current portfolio, what it's looking like. What I didn't go over is the large Bitcoin trade. The account is currently sitting at about 20% deployed into Bitcoin. But I have two contracts here that are up, $46, 22%, and then down $35, 15%. So we'll close those if they hit the 50% profit, but December 31st is coming faster, so I don't know if it will, but we'll see. The Bitcoin has also been consolidating, just trading sideways. And then down on the shares about $500. So this is a big bet. I mean, it is 20% of the portfolio into crypto, but we'll see how it turns out. Nucor sideways. Oxy will tax loss harvest the next week. Pfizer, nothing exciting, didn't go over. Quanta up about 8%. I went over that last week. Nothing exciting. Root's been falling, but it is what it is. Tax loss harvest season. Collecting covered calls on Sprouts and Root. So, Sprouts, probably the largest loss in the account. We'll tax loss harvest that in the next week. But, collected some covered calls, but yeah, not just a big drawdown of 38%. I didn't buy at the very top, but bought near it. So, it is what it is. That's why you need to diversify and not put all your eggs in one basket, because this happened, and it was the biggest mistake of the channel. But again, even this, it's a 1 month drawback basically. TLT is still collecting the dividends. XOP, I am trading oil again, and HIMS, I did get back in on HIMS. So oil had crude hit its lowest day since 2021. So I just couldn't resist. I sold a put and up about 17% on that, or $39. So you can see the account is sitting at 14.61% on the year to date. Still lagging behind some of the indexes, but beating the Russell 2000, which isn't shown on here. But as you can see, I am fully deployed, which is probably not the best move at VIX at 13, but I do believe that there will be a Santa Claus rally and a nice little market uplift. But I am looking to realize a lot of these positions, which will increase the cash balance in the next week. So again, thank you guys for watching and tuning in this week. We're at 27.54% of the way there. I will update you guys next week.